At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You are watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning, Monday through Friday. 7 o'clock in the morning. We kind of go over the weather here for the day so you know what to expect here. We do a quick forecast usually at the very top of the show. For those of you that are in a hurry, you just want to know what to expect for the day, you can get that in Krueger's Quickcast. Then we kind of just chat it up a little bit here, and then we take a deeper dive into the forecast, which is one of the things that I'm kind of known for, is kind of going into some great detail with the forecast so you can not only know what's happening with the weather, but learn why it's happening as well. So those are some of the fun things that we do here. We've got some of our regulars chiming in this morning, and we have got Chappie, we've got James, and Mandy Chappell. I'm assuming you, well, I don't know, maybe, no. And then, of course, we've got Ruth. Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope you drive safe out on the road. Absolutely, I agree. All right, well, what do you say? We go to the style of the programming. So those of you that are just checking in here real quickly for the weather, here it is, your Krueger's Quickcast. We're going to start off with those temperatures, and once again, it is a cold, chilly start to the day. We are below freezing in Reading, Red Bluff, Chico, Willows, Corning about 35, 36 degrees there, as well as Oroville. But we're in the teens, 20s off to the east, even in Mount Shasta, about 25 degrees right now, 22 degrees for Wairika. And you can see along the coast, look at that, in Eureka, a temperature of 31 degrees. Cold, even in Crescent City, 38. There is a freezing frog. I'm sure the frogs up there might be freezing too, but a freezing fog advisory. The two things really take into account with this. Number one, visibility to a quarter mile or less is a possibility. Number two, that basically think of the fog as little tiny tiny droplets of water. Those make contact to any surface, whether it's the road or anything else, it turns into ice. And that is why you could be looking at slick roads. Certainly a possibility here where we are. Of course, you saw how cold it was, right? So you put any kind of water into that mix there, you're talking about ice being kind of in the mix there. So just be on the lookout for that. Although right now the visibility looks to be okay, actually. So shouldn't be that much of an issue. I have a feeling that may be allowed to expire before the 11 o'clock hour that is expected to expire. Beach hazard statement has been issued for Saturday evening, so tomorrow evening through Monday. And that does include, of course, basically along the coast. For those of you who don't know what a sneaker wave is, that's basically just an unexpected wave that hits the water, and it's just a big rush of water that you can't really necessarily anticipate or see, and it can catch you off guard. So just please be careful if you're going to be out on the beach here over the weekend, especially for Sunday and Monday. All right, out the door this morning, maybe you're heading out to do some shopping. I didn't see a lot of big lines in some of the news reports that I saw this morning, but looks like we are going to see temperatures in the low to mid-20s in the higher elevations, and you can see 35 degrees in the north coast and the valley, temperatures in the mid-30s as well. Could see some of that patchy fog as well. You see the clouds to our south? Those aren't going to impact us a whole lot. We may see a couple of high clouds in response to that, but that's really going to be the extent of it. You'll also see some clouds off to the west. Those storm systems aren't going to have much impact on our weather anytime soon either. We'll get into that a little bit later here as far as what all that means, but temperatures are in the low 60s for your highs today in the valley, 30s and 40s for the higher elevations, and upper 50s to around 60 out in Trinity County. Low to mid 60s for the inland areas and for the coast. You're talking temperatures in the mid 50s. Oh, I didn't mean to do, oh, that happened again. Oh shoot, I'll have to remember to fix that. But that's kind of what the valley looks like in general, and there's not a turkey there on Friday. I didn't mean for that map to be there. And what we're looking at here, though, is temperatures low 60s through the weekend, and then, of course, those mid 60s for Monday through Thursday. All right, that's what it should have been for the valley, but I had the wrong one up there for some reason. The coast, inland, Trinity County, same situation here. We're dry, we are warmer, especially as we go into next week. And this is pretty much the same situation for Siskiyou, Modoc, Eastern Mountains. It's getting warmer. In fact, even Susanville now, you're going to get into the low 50s by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday of next week. It's going to warm up probably even more, it looks like, toward the end of next week. And for those of you that need to travel, just kind of a heads up to let you know that there is a dense fog advisory this morning for that area. Hey, for those of you that might be watching from some other location in your Turkey destination, maybe it's the morning after and you're just kind of extending it on through the weekend. You're checking in to see what's going on in the morning. Well, good morning to you. Hope you're having a good vacation first and foremost. But number two, if you're up north, you know what it's been like and what it will be like. It's going to be cold, and that'll continue even on into your Sunday, although it is slowly warming up. You'll see that's the trend for the Pacific Northwest, and that's the trend down to the south as well. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s today, tomorrow mid to upper 70s, and on Sunday, look at that. You're getting up to 80 degrees in Palm Springs. If you're over there, I'm definitely quite jealous. Phoenix, Tucson, temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees there. Travel-wise, for the weather, you're fine. Don't have to worry about chain requirements over the mountain passes, anything like that. Slick spots, that's definitely going to be the case over the mountains, but no chain requirements. And I can't account for how much traffic there will be, so that's the only problem you're going to run into. And the weather not posing a lot of issues with at least airport delays. You can see here there are no airport delays across the nation, at least from what we're seeing here. Now, there are some winter storms out there, but nothing major. You can see some of the lake effect snow that they're seeing in the Great Lakes region. Otherwise, limited to minor impacts for parts of the nation here through Sunday. So I don't anticipate any weather-related delays as we go into the weekend. There you can see Lake Oroville. What a beautiful shot right there. And of course, that looks even better. Look at the sun rising, turning out to be just a gorgeous sunrise. Looks like some high clouds out there. You can see Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Not much in the way of wind out there this morning, making the lake look like glass. Look at this. Look at Main Street, Chico. You know, usually this time of the day, you've got all this traffic. But a lot of people are off work here today. I'd be willing to guess that a lot of, say, landscape workers are probably going to be out there today to make sure they don't get too far behind. But I mean, look at this. Usually there's a lot of traffic here on Highway 99 at Neal Road, but again, you got to love these holiday weekends, right? Because you just don't see a lot of that traffic. That's the same thing out on Highway 44 on Sundalbridge Drive in Reading. You can see just the lack of traffic out there this morning. Today is Friday, and we've got our pet of the week, and my wife Sadie was able to interview and talk to the folks over there at Haven Humane Society. So this week we meet Desi.
Welcome everyone, I'm Sadie Krueger with Weather NorCal, and this is Pet of the Week. I'm here at Haven Humane with Katrina and Desi. And we want to learn a little bit about Haven Humane and how we can support it since it's Giving Tuesday coming up, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so pretty much what we do here, our goal is a North State with no more homeless pets, ideally. And just how we're accomplishing that goal is through, our different services we offer. We have a clinic that does, spays and neuters, vaccines, that sort of thing. We do dog licensing. And of course, we're always caring for, at any given time, like 300 animals. So they definitely go through a lot of food and they need a lot of care. So definitely if you can help us out on Giving Tuesday, our link is on our website if you go to havenhumane.org of how to donate for Giving Tuesday. And your dollars go directly towards caring for all of these guys.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about Desi and what kind of family might be best?
Yeah. So Desi is about a year old. He's like kind of lab border collie-esque, I would say. He definitely is very smart and learns tricks very quickly. And he's the kind of dog that definitely does want something to do. But he's very focused on his people and really wants to be around his people a lot and, be a part of whatever activity that you're doing. So I just think he would do well in any family that's like fairly active and also just ready to have a dog that's going to be around all the time and, want to be a part of all the festivities.
That is awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that with us. Giving Tuesday coming up. And so, yeah, Thanks again for tuning in to Pet of the Week.
All right, so that was Desi. Hope you enjoyed that segment here. I want to thank my wife Sadie for taking care of Pet of the Week this week here. And Desi was kind of cool. I was able to kind of go out there and hang out with the dog for a little bit here. Desi definitely really a well-mannered dog. Loves the affection and the works. Now, you may have heard that they were talking about Giving Tuesday and how you can support Haven Humane Society. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to their website here. And you can see here, when you're looking at all these, you kind of get up here and you're like, well, where is their Giving Tuesday? Well, you see there's these little white, gray dots. So you click on that second one and it'll take you right there. Spits the gift of a second chance. Early giving is now open. So you click that donate and it'll take it to their donate page here for Giving Tuesday. So you can go in there. It looks like 19 donors so far. $1,333 has been raised so far. And of course, we've got a lot more days to go ahead of us as well. So that will take you to an external link. We'll take you back. You can also just a general donate team here, or donate button here as well. If you just want to donate to the organization, of course you can do that. You can choose your own amount or all these other different donations as well here. You can do monthly. You can have it, do something that they do monthly. Looks like they've got a one-time and monthly. So yeah, a lot of great ways to support Haven Humane Society. And, if that's something you want to, if you have some extra money, and that might be a way for you to kind of help and do some good things here for the community. And of course, if you love animals, I mean, what better way than to do it that way? We're going to take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning, too. Didn't get a chance to do that. We're going to start off by taking a look at, this is Elk Country, just north of Trinidad, turning out to be a gorgeous start to the day there. Let's take you out to Crescent City right now, where we are seeing an absolutely beautiful sunrise out there this morning. There you can see, yeah, look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. You kind of just do it raw here. We'll take a look at what it looks like right now at the Sundial Bridge, that is, in Redding. Looks like someone's out there enjoying this cold. And be careful out there on the bridge if you're going out there this morning, because there might even be some ice, some patchy ice on that bridge as well. Let's take a look at, let's see here. Hold on, we'll get through this, hold on. And that's what Mount Shasta looks like out at the ski park. Looking absolutely awesome. As you know or may not know, they are opening up that park. Look at that sunrise on the mountain. Gorgeous, gorgeous. But as you may or may not know, they are officially opening up the ski park. That's right, on December 11th. That's coming up here. That's not too far away. So yeah, that's pretty cool here. All right, let's get to our deeper dive forecast. And of course, as you know, we've got sponsors here at Weather NorCal. And one of them is Wind River Resort and Casino. They make Coffee with Krueger possible. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks again to Wind River for their support of Coffee with Krueger and Weather NorCal in general. All right, let's take a look at our temperatures out there this morning, and definitely pretty cold. I should be wearing a sweater, but we do have the heater on, so of course I can keep myself a little bit warmer. But temperatures, we are below freezing and have been for a while here. The last few hours out towards Redding and Red Bluff, 32 right now in Chico, 35 in Oroville, 20 for Susanville, 18 degrees in Elmhurst. And this might be a little bit of motivation to maybe think about wrapping your pipes, just to make sure that if we do have a prolonged period of these freezing temperatures, you can get broken pipes. Now, obviously, that's something that most people, I would be willing to guess, in the higher elevations have done that. But in the valley, we typically don't see prolonged periods of temperatures below freezing that we see those broken pipes. But it's always a good idea at the beginning of the season, usually in fall, sometime in fall, to maybe do that, just to be prepared, because it can happen and it has happened. 25 degrees in Mount Shasta right now, 27 for Weaverville, and we do have those 30s. For the coast. There is a freezing fog advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. However, that being said, I'm not seeing a lot of fog, at least based on some of the observations that I'm seeing here. But overall, there is that potential for a quarter mile or less visibility. And think of fog as basically a cloud on the ground. And a cloud is basically water droplets, tiny little water droplets. And if you have a frozen surface, those water droplets then freeze on that surface, and then that can create slick roads. So just bear that in mind if you're going to be traveling this morning in the eastern mountains. You could run into some slick spots, especially those areas that are in the shade for a long period of time. Areas of fog, cold and frosty the next few mornings. These headlines, I'm going to pretty much keep them the way they are, probably even into next week. And the reason being, we're not going to see much change here. Mainly sunny, seasonal through the next 7 to 10 days, and I don't see any rain in sight. Now, when I say that for us, because there's some rain down here, there's rain here, there's more rain coming in behind that. But the problem is this right here, high pressure. We've got a big ridge of high pressure in place, and that's preventing any storms from moving in. So let's take a look at this and kind of talk about this. Number one, ridge of high pressure is sinking air. That is a stable atmosphere. It does not help in the development of clouds or rain, for that matter. So typically with high pressure, you see warmer temperatures, you see more sunshine. With an area of low pressure, that's rising air that helps to support cloud development and rain development as well. So low pressure here, where are the clouds? Right here, right? Not seeing as much cloud cover with this high pressure right here. So what's happening is this. Two things. Again, we have rain here and rain here. It'd be nice if one of those could bring us any rainfall, but this is butting up on the ridge of high pressure. The high pressure is right here. What happens is you've got that rising air, then eventually the flow around that high is going to help to suppress that cloud development or suppress those clouds from moving in. Now, some of those may survive and make their way through in the form of some high, even a few mid-level clouds for places like Sacramento, maybe Chico, but overall, it's not going to have a huge impact on us. Meanwhile, we've got a storm system over here. It looks like it's heading our way, but unless this guy moves out of the way, this won't be able to make it over Northern California. And all of these storm systems that are coming in behind it, they're all just going to ride up and over. You see that? That's that storm system that's riding over the ridge. That's exactly where this low pressure is going to go. It's going to stay to our north, and the one behind that, and even the one behind that. So that's what's going on right now with the overall current situation. So you can clearly see as this moves closer, actually, it's going to lose a lot of its strength, and it's not going to really even bring much in the way of rain for Southern California, just the clouds that they're seeing out there now. Meanwhile, watch all the storms ride up, and see that? Not much rain coming out of it. But you can see it then kind of dives to the south. But see all these storms riding up and over that ridge of high pressure? It's blocking it. Now, this is what we call a dirty ridge, because again, typically I was talking earlier that typically with high pressure, you have sunny skies, but sometimes clouds can kind of filter on through. And that's essentially what we'll see, but mainly in the form of some high, maybe a few mid-level clouds out there. So we look at December 5th through December 9th, drier than normal conditions. We took a look at the same time frame, warmer than normal conditions. But when I say that, I'm not talking about a massive increase in the temperatures. Now, the average high is about 59, 60 degrees. So, I mean, we are approaching 6, 7 degrees above normal for this time of the year. As you can see here, we're basically between 62 and 66 degrees for the next 10 days. Not much change, not much variation in those temperatures. And that's just because that high pressure is going to hold on strong. And until it moves, not much is going to change. So we can look at our wave heights for today. Nothing going on here, right? Notice on Saturday, though, we're starting to see this kind of inch a little bit closer. So overall, we'll probably start to see those wave heights begin to increase. Now, as a result, we do have a beach hazard statement for Saturday evening, so tomorrow evening through Monday. What these sneaker waves can do is exactly do that. They can sneak up on you. You don't even know it's happening. You can get this rush of water that you cannot anticipate, and it can sweep you under your feet, because water is a very powerful force. And if you're rock hopping or you're just hanging out on the beach, that water can rush in, grab you, and take you back into the water. It can also sweep you under your feet. If you're rock hopping, that can be very dangerous as well. I've seen videos of people rock hopping and getting those sneaker waves coming in, and you see them just fall down, get swept into the water. It's a very dangerous situation, and you need to be aware of it. Again, I was talking about it for a while here, but that's because, again, if you're going to be on the beach, you need to be careful here, especially Sunday and Monday. There's a look at your marine forecast for today. Northeast winds at about 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the north at 3 feet at 5 seconds, and from the west at 2 feet at about 13 seconds. And there are no advisories. as of yet. Again, by Saturday, we do have that beach hazard statement. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the 7-day forecast because you know the drill, right? It's just going to be mainly sunny, dry conditions, and warmer, especially by the middle and latter part of next week. Temperatures today, though, upper 50s for the most part in Trinity County. Actually, a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday, but then we are going to start to see an increase going into the weekend, and in particular next week. 60 for Miranda, 62 degrees in Garberville, 59 for Redcrest, and Honeydew about 59 degrees. 55 degrees in Ferndale, 55 in Fortuna, 54 degrees in Rio Dell. There's a look at your Fortuna 7-day forecast. 57 out in Blue Lake today, 54 degrees in Arcata, and there you can see Hoopa, about 62 degrees, 54 out in Klamath, 55 for Gas Key, and there's Oric with a high of about 55 degrees. All right, let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. 49 degrees for Horse Creek, 52 in Sayed Valley, and out towards Wairika, only about 38. As I mentioned, a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday. 38 degrees out in Etna, 37 Callahan, and 38 in Fort Jones. 34 for Tule Lake, 39 for Tennant. 32 degrees for Doris, and 34 degrees in McDowell, and really only reaching the 40s for places like Mount Shasta, McLeod, and even Dunsmuir. Here's a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the low 40s, but look at Newell, only about 33. 41 though, out in Cedarville, and 42 degrees for Alturas. We take you off into the eastern mountains, and this is, you know, of the 6 neighborhoods that I kind of break down, this is the one that should be broken down into probably 2 more neighborhoods, because you take a look at some of these temperatures and you can clearly see just a big spread here. So for example, Paynes Creek about 57, but you head to Fall River Mills, it's 44 for your daytime high. 41 out in Summit Lake, 47 for Chester. I've got some family out there, out on their house there, hanging out on Lake Elminor Peninsula. It looks like sunny skies, a little chilly, but 45 degrees there. 45 degrees in Westwood, and there you can see Prattville, about 43 degrees. Taking to the south here, Paradise, 57. Much cooler, though, in Susanville, only about 39 for your daytime high. But Susanville, you will eventually warm back up as we get into the weekend, especially next week. Here is your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Temperatures should be somewhere around 60 degrees out in Chico, 61 for Red Bluff, 61 for Elk Creek, and 59 degrees for Durham. We take you up north to 62 for Redding, 59 in Whiskeytown and Lakehead, and 61 degrees in Cottonwood. All right, there's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving is behind us. Now it's time to start thinking about, well, I don't know, getting ready for Christmas, I guess. Or for those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, getting ready for that. A lot of things going on here. And now it's time to start looking at those warmer temperatures too. And I've said this earlier, if you are waiting for rain, you're gonna have to wait for a long time, because unfortunately it just does not look like we have much in the way of rain making its way to the forecast anytime soon. So that's essentially what's going on. I think my mic was on. For those of you that watched yesterday, that whole thing I just didn't have an audio, have any audio. Thank you, Chappie. And so one of my regulars here, Chappie, is, she's saying, before you do your deeper dive, make sure the audio is on. Yes, I did. I believe it was on. I don't think I see anybody here. Oh, Catherine, what's this going on here? Catherine's saying, power outages in Castle. Too cold for the electricity to flow? I don't know. Interesting. Let me, I do have access to, let's see here, power. Current power. Let's do this. And I can just kind of show you what's going on here. So in Castle, oh, look at that. Yeah. So this is basically saying how many people are without power. And so this would be 500 people. 500 people are without power, and that would, of course, include the Castle area. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that and why there is a power outage, but maybe it's something that's planned. I don't know. Good question, though. But I don't think it has anything to do with the electricity being too cold. Electricity can flow in cold air, but I'm assuming that was a joke. Thank you, Catherine, for reporting that. I certainly appreciate that. I love these reports because it allows me to kind of see exactly what's going on out there. All right, anything else here? Well, I think that's going to do it for us this morning. It's Friday. I'm getting ready for a weekend. Be sure to check out Chase Wilson over the weekend. He's my weekend meteorologist. He does weekend for me on the weekend weather. He has something personal going on Sunday, so he'll be doing Saturday forecast for you, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. tomorrow. And he'll still be able to do Sunday morning, but I'll need to fill in for him for the afternoon and evening forecast. So you'll see me again Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then of course things back to normal. Now next week is going to be a short week for me as well. I'm very excited about this. So as you know, Weather NorCal is kind of on the cutting edge of how people get their weather information. It's digital only. TV is a platform that is still to this day trying to figure out how to keep up with what's going on as less and less people watch traditional television and go to more of a streaming type of service. And so what I'm doing here is something that has been going on for some people have been doing what I'm doing for 5-6 years. So it's been something that's been out there, but more and more people, such as myself, are getting on board with this. As a result, we have got a lot of people meeting at the end of this week and next weekend. It's a conference that I will be attending and helping to host. I'll be on a panel of Q&A for people who are interested in what it is I'm doing. There are 2 universities, I'm not exactly sure which ones are going to be there, that are looking to start programs to help educate the youth of today to be prepared and get the right tools to do what I'm doing here. And this is an ever-changing industry with how you can get information, and I'm very excited to head out there. It's going to be in Tennessee. I'm heading out to good old Tennessee. So I'm excited to see some of the people I've been working with. I've been in great communication with some people who are doing with what I'm doing, and so I'm going to be able to see them in person. I'm very excited to speak with them. I'm also very excited to meet new people who are interested in doing what I'm doing across the nation. This is something that is growing, what I'm doing, and it's only going to get bigger across the nation. Could we eventually see a network, an online network of weather? Possibly. That's something that's kind of in the works a little bit here. So I do know that I want to be a part of that, and you'll probably start to see that in the years to come, Weather NorCal growing and becoming a part of that national network. Now, that being said, it'll always be locally owned by me. I make the decisions. No one's going to make the decisions for me. Unless I sell the rights and get a big investor or something, until that day happens, which probably won't, I make all the decisions. I will probably never give up more than 49% of the ownership of Weather NorCal if I decide to bring in an investor. But that's just, that's a whole other topic for another conversation. James is saying, having fun. Yeah, I kind of went on a little rant there. Not rant, but just kind of hanging out and talking about what's going on here. But yeah, so just note that there will not be Coffee with Krueger next Thursday and next Friday, but I will be back that next Monday. So yeah, having fun, and thank you for everything. That's coming in from James. You are welcome. We've also got, let's see here. Still have power. Dylan is saying, still have power, MacArthur. Yes. So what I showed you this a little bit earlier, this is just showing that in Shasta County, not everybody, it's just saying 500 people in the county of Shasta are dealing with the power outages. So that's kind of what it's looking like. So, it looks like, oh my gosh, Reading has a power. No, not necessarily. It's just highlighting the entire county. This particular program is good for places that have smaller counties. We've got very widespread big counties, So it can be a little bit more confusing, and that's why a lot of the watches and warnings are in zones and not counties because of all of our microclimates out here. We have got Curtis Brown saying, excited for you, Mike. That will be a great conference. I agree. I'm so excited. I'm getting amped up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just really excited to talk with people who are interested in doing what I'm doing and helping to encourage them to do it. I've talked with several meteorologists across the nation on the phone who are chief meteorologists at TV stations, and they're fed up. They're tired of it. And this year alone, I can't tell you how many people have lost jobs in the TV industry. It's sad. It's really sad. I'm not seeing it here locally yet, but I actually have seen at, and I don't want to mention which TV station it was, but I have a friend that lost a job here at a local TV station because of cuts. And it's only going to get worse in 2025. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen. We've got Catherine Schmidt saying, went out long enough to have the rest, long enough to reset the clocks for about 5 minutes. Okay. Well, hopefully your power is back up and gets back up, but that is definitely no fun. And for me, I don't want to lose power, and then I can't do this, right? I got to think about maybe trying to find some kind of backup generator service in case that happens, and a backup internet. But all of that costs money, and we got to get more advertisers, more sponsorships, and we can do that. A lot of good stuff coming along the way. I do. I feel it. I'm very optimistic for 2025. It's going to be a good year. All right. Well, that should about do it this morning. Let's get to it and wrap up the show, wrap up this Friday, and get you ready for the weekend. As I mentioned, I will be, of course, off this weekend as usual, but I'll be filling in for Chase on Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, and I'll be back again. Curtis saying, what you're doing is the only way weather should be presented. I agree. Just to kind of wrapping things up here, but yes, and I'm going to turn this music down so you can hear me better. I don't know if it's too loud or not, but I agree. And here's what I've done with this platform. What I've always been known for is going into great depth and just into the forecast. And I know there are a lot of you out there that really like that and appreciate that. But there are also a lot of you out there that don't have the attention span and don't necessarily care too much for all of that detail. That's why for my 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. forecast, I break it down into Krueger's Quick Cast, which is just a couple of maybe 3 minutes, depending on what's going on with the weather, a couple to 3 minutes of a regular forecast. Not a lot of detail, just here's what you can expect today, here's what you can expect for the next 7 days, have a nice day. And then after that, I continue and then go on to the deeper dive forecast. And a lot of people have interest in that, in what's going on, how is it happening, why is it happening? And when you see the explanation behind it, it makes it easier to really comprehend what's going on. So there you go. Thank you, Curtis. I certainly agree with you on that one. And, I meant to throw up Curtis's. I was addressing his comment about what you're doing is the only way weather should be presented. And I agree. And of course, these live, what's really cool about this live here is that we can do a lot of nowcasting. See, the one disadvantage, I will say this, the one disadvantage that we have here with the format that I have is you can't do a lot of what I call nowcasting because they're recorded forecasts. Typically record just before whatever it gets uploaded. And the problem is, it's not necessarily a problem, but the beauty of what I'm doing is it allows people to watch the forecast whenever they want, wherever they are. From their phone, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick on the 24-hour streaming channel. They can watch it on weathernorcal.com. They can watch it all over the place, right? No matter where they are. But if they're watching a recording that went out 3 hours ago, if I say the current temperature is this, that's not true anymore. If I show the current radar, that's not a good representation of what's going on. So that's why it's usually, that one disadvantage. But that's what I love about doing with Coffee with Krueger is I'm able to show you the radar when there's rain. I'm able to show you the current temperatures so you can see what's going on at that current time. And then, of course, we talk about that. All right, we are finally going to wrap it up again. I'm going to put the music back up. Is it up? Is it up? I don't know. I can't hear it. And it doesn't look like it's on either. Can you guys hear that music? It's showing, oh, it's not playing. All right, there it is. Okay, no. Yes. There you go. It's Friday. I'm ready to call it a day. How about you? Let's get ourselves ready and take a look at some great cameras here. This is looking at Lake Oroville. I want you all to have yourselves a great Friday, even better weekend. I will see you, or you'll see me, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then of course right back here on Coffee with Krueger live at 7 a.m. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.